Hey guys, what's happening? Know it's been a while since the last video. Well, we've had a lot of things going on in life, as everybody knows who's been following the channel for a while. We've not only changed from our Class A motorhome to a fifth wheel, we also went with a new tow rig. So, we've had a lot of things going on. Learning the new truck, doing the research on the truck, learning a new RV, learning where we're putting everything in the new RV. But today I want to talk a little bit about why we went with the Super Duty. So, let's get ready and dive in and talk about this. So many of you who's been following us for a while know we were changing from a Class A motorhome down to either a travel trailer, a fifth wheel, or just a smaller motorhome. Now, one of the biggest reasons we went with the Super Duty, that was the price. The prices on the Super Duties are a lot more pocket friendly, and with us, we wanted to, when we went into this, we wanted to buy something we could pay cash for. We did not want to owe the bank anything. Same said with the RV. We went with a used RV and a used truck. And the biggest reason for that was prices. We didn't want to take the big hit from buying new, and this truck being pre-def, that's the other big reason. Because when you get into the def systems of the newer trucks, that's still kind of a new thing. They haven't quite got that figured out just yet. In my dealings with driving a semi, the def system can be very costly to repair. I mean, filters can cost $3,000 and some dollars. Now that's just for the parts. I mean, a lot of this stuff is very expensive to maintain. So like I said, we went with a pre-def truck. And the biggest reason was the price of this truck. Now, like I said, maybe you guys following us around for a while. No, we've been looking for a long time. Now, the price on this truck was just unbelievable in comparison to a Chevy. So I'm a Chevy guy and we own a Ford. So, but the biggest reason was we wanted to pay cash, and the Super Duty, it came in at our budget. We had a $18,000 budget is what we had together with the camper and the truck. So we went with the Ford. Now we searched high and low looking for Chevrolet, even some Dodges, but Dodges, most of you guys know, Dodges have a lot of transmission problems. Now I know this one has the 6-liter in it, and they've got their own nightmare stories. But like I said, you kind of got to feel for yourself, look the vehicle over, and look for anything that may be a problematic area right out the gate. Now, with these kind of trucks, I know that they have issues that you need to go and have these bulletproof, which is because of the studs in the heads and things like that. And that's another costly thing. Now, our thought is if we can make it through a few years with this one here before we have to do any major repairs like that, the better it'll be. Because then once you bulletproof one of these trucks, they are just that, they're bulletproof. So, that's one of the reasons we went with the Ford Super Duty. But the biggest reason was the price. This was marked probably $10,000 to $15,000 cheaper than a Chevy with the same options. We were looking for a crew cab, we couldn't find one. And the other thing is we were looking in Ohio. Ohio does not always have the most rust-free vehicles on the planet, as we're in the snow belt up there. But we wanted to take care of all those things while we were in our state of residency, so we could get the title stuff done instead of having to come from another state, get out-of-state inspection, all those kind of things done. We didn't want to have to mess with all that. We were already in Ohio. We took care of it. So, but, you know, we ended up with the Ford. A lot of people probably don't like the Ford. Everybody's got their picks of what they want and what kind of vehicle they think is the best. My personal feelings is, if the vehicle was treated very well from the day it was new, nobody's beat, tore crap out of it, or run the guts out of it, they can be pretty good vehicles. Now, some vehicles are just known to be lemons from the factory. And some of the first designs of this engine that's in this truck, I would have to agree with you. They had a lot of problem areas. But this one here is an 05. So this one here has the redesigned 6-liter where they supposedly got rid of a lot of those headaches. So far, so good. Never had a 6-liter before, but we have had a 7.3. Now the 7.3, in my opinion, for Ford, even though because it wasn't a Ford engine, it was an international engine, was probably one of the best engines they put in a Ford truck, as far as a turbo diesel. But 7.3s are getting harder to find, and they're clean trucks anyway. They're not all falling apart, or they don't have a gazillion miles on them. Now this truck here is very low mileaged. We are the third owner on this truck. We chased the history down. This truck was delivered brand new in Pennsylvania. Then it came to Cleveland, Ohio, and it spent the rest of its life in Cleveland, Ohio. And as you guys can see, the body of this truck was not always out in the weather. This truck was probably used from somebody who else had a camper. They pulled camper with it. I think that's all they did. The interior of the truck also shows that there's no real wear inside the truck. It's been a very well taken care of vehicle, so that made it a little bit easier for us to go ahead and pull the trigger on this one. Now, is this going to be our forever tow rig? I don't know. It may not be. Will this be our forever new camper? I don't know. That's the thing about living full time, is you get something, you use it for a while, then you move on to something else. Who knows? We may end up in a Class B or something before this is all over with. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, because we're definitely not ready for van life. But after downsizing, you know, from the house to the Class A, we still had to downsize a tremendous amount to go from the Class A to the fifth wheel. And we'll make another video about the fifth wheel and show you guys the limited storage that you actually have on the fifth wheel compared to what we had in Boomer, the Class A. Now, back to the Ford truck. It was a dually. That will allow us to be more rounded, whether we went with a travel trailer or a fifth wheel. But just so happens this one here already had the gooseneck ball. It already had the fifth wheel stuff in there, so that was one other thing that we didn't have to reinstall. Except for this has a different style of fifth wheel, which we couldn't find one of those because the previous owner did take their fifth wheel system out. We went with another fifth wheel system, which I will talk about that later in another video. But main thing is, when you go full-time, you really want to try to spend as little money as possible, so that way you can enjoy the full-time lifestyle. So with us buying something that we can pay cash for, not owing the man, that's just a better way to put yourself. The less bills you have as a full-time RVer, the better off you'll be, especially if you wanted to travel. When you have a $900 truck payment, because most of these diesel trucks they're up there $800-900 a month, because most of these trucks are $70,000 and $80,000. And I don't know about you guys, I think that's just a little crazy. And just like the fifth wheels, oh yeah, they give you a great deal on a camper and tell you, oh, you can pay 30 years on those and pay $200 a month. But think about that, 30 years on one of these things going down the road. I don't see it being together in 30 years, to be honest with you. Especially if it gets used. If it goes in a dry storage and nobody hardly uses it, yeah, it may last. But I seriously don't see that happening. So, by being able to pay cash, it also just makes it a little easier for us on the budget for traveling. It gives you a bigger budget for travel. So let's take a look under the hood here, show you what we got under the hood, and take a little peek on the inside of the truck. So here's the heart of our new tow rig. Well, new to us anyway. So this is the Power Stroke 6.0. Now these engines get a lot of bad press, I guess I should say. They've been notorious for having head issues, but that was the year prior to the redesign of this engine here. Now the 05 through 07, I think it is. Keep in mind I'm a Chevy guy, not a Ford guy, but doing my research, that the 05 and up models, they've had a little bit of redesign, so I've been told. But I've consulted a lot of Ford guys who say that the 6-liter engine's a good engine as long as it's not been molested and not had tuners and everything else put on it. This one still has the EGR. This one has never had a commander or anything on it, so nobody's been boosting the guts out of this. So that did make me a little bit more willing to take a chance on this one here, just as nobody's touched this. So it's an untouched 6-liter engine. So only thing I can figure is we'll give it around and see what we think of it. So stay tuned on that part. You know, the body on this whole truck is in great shape. And believe it or not, it was actually really super clean until we got down here to Kentucky. A little filthy now. But, all in all, it's a pretty decent shaped truck for the year. Now this truck is a little older. It is an 05, so that means it's pre-def, which that's definitely something I wanted. Didn't want to deal with all that stuff. As you guys can see, in great shape. Icky inside here. Mind the mess, we've been traveling. But as you can see, it is a Lariat. Has the full leather. Bells and whistles for this year truck. Somebody kept this truck in very good condition. Well, hopefully with that little bit of information there I give you guys, kind of give you a little insight on why we decided to go with the Super Duty. So I want to say thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for sticking with us and the downtime for not making videos. Trying to get everything situated in life. It's not always easy to put a camera up and record all that, which probably should do that. But trust me, there'll be a lot of bleeps and a lot of this and a lot of that because my filter does not work. Until next time, guys, this is Tony. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.